Hi, I'm Isabelle. I'm in the test kitchen today making a family recipe, Asian-style wings with bang bang sauce. I'm so excited to share this recipe. It's one of my favorites of all time, and it's super nostalgic to me because this is my mom's recipe, and we used to make this every holiday for our huge family. The whole house would smell like these wings roasting all day long. It's the best smell. It brings me back to the best memories ever, and I can't wait to get started. We're gonna get into the marinade first. Ideally, you're using whole chicken wings. I've also made this recipe before with some chicken thighs, bone-in as well. Cooks about the same, but the wings is the classic way to do it. The easiest thing about this recipe is it's just 1 to 1 to 1, so it's just 1 cup for everything. Super, super simple. Let's start with the dry ingredients first. Light brown sugar. I've used both light and dark brown sugar. I don't think it really matters much. White sugar next. Just right off the bat, literally the main base of this marinade is sugar. Be cautious of that if you're sensitive to sugar, but that's the best part about it. It gets evenly dispersed throughout the wings, so they're not that high in sugar, if you think about it. Adding in the soy sauce. To me, this is the appropriate amount of garlic. I know it looks like a lot, but it's necessary, trust me. That's my favorite flavor of all time. And you're just gonna mix this together until it becomes almost like a paste. At any moment, if your marinade feels a little bit too watery, you can always add a little bit more sugar. And if it's too thick, you just add a little bit more soy sauce or a little water if you don't wanna use too much soy sauce. But this is exactly how you want it. That's perfect. Time to put all the wings in. You can wear gloves for this part if you'd like. I'm just gonna use my hands, they're clean. Just make sure the wings are all coated in this marinade. You can marinate them in a big bowl like this, or what my mom used to do is a big plastic bag, double bagged, and then she would throw them in the freezer to marinate for like a week, but you don't have to do that, that's unnecessary. And then we're just gonna toss them, making sure that every part of the wing is completely covered. And this recipe goes way back, because it's my mom's recipe to me, but I guess it came from my aunt, kind of a clunky middle name. My middle name is Deborah, but it's actually I'm named after my Aunt Debbie, who's my mom's sister, and I've grown to love that name very much because I never knew her. But she left me with a lot of things, even though she didn't know me either. She left me with really eccentric jewelry, a really, really ugly lamp that I really love, and that's still in my house, and then she left this wing recipe as well. But this recipe is the best ever. It's also okay if the marinade is pooling a little bit at the bottom because you're gonna use it later once they're baking. But for now, these are gonna sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour. If you want extra flavor, I recommend marinating them overnight. We're gonna make the sauce while we're letting those wings marinate. This is an optional step. I don't traditionally eat these with sauce just because they're a very saucy wing. However, some people like a sauce, I totally get it. Any other wing I love with a sauce, so I'm doing a bang bang sauce with this. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, little acidic. Perfect combination because the wings are so sweet. This is gonna go really well with it. I'm gonna start with about half a cup of Greek yogurt. Put that into another bowl here. You could use mayo for this as well. You could use sour cream, any sort of base that you like. I prefer Greek yogurt just because it's pretty neutral. And we're gonna go in with roughly 2 tablespoons of a Thai chili sauce. This is the spicy part, so if you don't like spicy, you can definitely use less. This to me is kind of perfect because the yogurt really balances out the spice, and it's a little bit sweet too. Next, I'd say roughly a tablespoon of honey. This could be to taste however much you'd like. Should be good. A little bit of sriracha as well. The Thai chili sauce and the sriracha are both a little bit spicy, but also sweet, so it just adds like a nice balance there. Oh, that's fine. And then last, for a little bit of acid in there, we're just using about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of lime. Works just as well. It turns out to be a pretty thick sauce like this. That's so good. The sauce is actually looking a little bit thick. If this is the consistency that you prefer, that's totally fine, but I'm gonna add a little bit more sriracha. You could also dilute it with a little bit of water. I think that tastes just as good as well. Perfect. Super easy, super quick bang bang sauce, or my variation of bang bang sauce. The wings should be done marinating now. Let's get baking. I've had this game night in the books for weeks now. My friends think I'm a total amateur. Perfect. They think I've been party prepping all day, and I have been prepping, but not with just the food. I've also been brushing up on my game tips from the Cafe Casino blog. They've got everything from tutorials to practice games. I've never been more ready to bring my A game. And while I'm in the kitchen making the final touches, playing Build-A-Burger keeps me entertained and makes the time pass much faster. She's serving so much more than just snacks.
Oh man.
Never underestimate the host. Tastes like victory. Find free games to play online and brush up on your own skills on the Cafe Casino blog. Wings are ready. This is actually a batch that I pre-marinated a night before, so these have been sitting in that marinade for 24 hours. They're gonna taste even better. Awesome. A lot of the sauce is gonna loosen up a bit and it's gonna be sitting at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is line 2 baking sheets with some tin foil, and then I'm gonna put the wings, line them up, and then spread some extra marinade on there just to make sure they're all fully covered. And I highly recommend this. I've made these wings and forgot to do the tin foil before because there's so much sugar in the marinade, it will stick like crazy to the pan. So this is just absolutely necessary step. I imagine you can use parchment paper as well, but this is what I've always done. Okay, the baking sheets are wrapped and ready to go. Now we're gonna line up the wings, evenly space them out. I'll show you, I'll talk about it as I go. Just spread them out so you don't wanna overcrowd them. Again, it's okay if some of them have lost that like gloss of the marinade because I'm gonna brush a little over top after. Perfect, okay. Just realized I put these on the sheet incorrectly. As per my mom's recipe, you're actually supposed to put the wings belly up, which would be this part here. It's just the under part of the wing. That's the part that cooks first because you're slowly cooking the inside of the wing here, and then when you flip it, the top is what you want to get golden brown, so that cooks last. So I'm just gonna flip these. Don't do what I did, sorry. Now that these are all flipped belly up, I'm just gonna add a little bit of extra marinade to the top to make sure they're fully coated before I put them in the oven. As you can see, the marinade has loosened up quite a bit from the chicken soaking in these and kind of releasing some moisture, and that's totally fine. They're gonna go in belly side up, 45 minutes, then we're gonna flip them another 45 minutes, and then we're gonna broil them. So they get nice and golden brown. You're gonna brush a little bit more marinade on before that last broil, and they're gonna be perfect. The wings are in the oven. You have some time since it's gonna be about 45 minutes. So let's enjoy a nice little cocktail. This drink also goes so well with the wings, in my opinion. It's a classic whiskey sour, one of my absolute favorites. Grab your shaker. I like to fill it with ice first. I don't know if there's a technique to that. You're supposed to do the ice last, ice first. I like to do it first. I think it calls for less splashing. And then you're gonna take your whiskey, any whiskey you like. You're gonna do 2 ounces of whiskey to start. That's 1. 2. Oh, no, that's fine. We'll add a little extra. Perfect. And then we're gonna add about 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Boom. You can add a little bit more if you like your drinks a little sweeter, but I don't. And then you're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, which is basically just half a lemon. Right in there. And then last thing is just egg whites from 1 egg. This will create a really nice froth on top. You don't actually taste the egg white, so. And if you don't want to use egg whites, so that freaks you out a little bit, you can also use aquafaba, which is the liquid in a chickpea can. It works just the same. Shake that up. Whew, that should be good. My rule of thumb is wait until your hands get a little numb, and then it's probably ready to go. Now grab your whiskey glass. You can use any glass you want. Some people put it in a martini glass too if you prefer, but I like a big chunk of ice. And then we're just gonna pour, let me give it a little shake again. Then we're gonna pour that over top. That's perfect. And then lastly, you could garnish it if you want. Some people garnish with a cherry, orange peel. I don't need anything fancy. I'm just having it for myself at home, so this is good to go. These just came out of the oven, just so you can see it. Obviously, sometimes ovens will have a little bit of uneven heat. This oven's pretty warm and a bit warmer than I'm used to, so I took them out a little bit early. I'm gonna baste them. I'll probably put them in for maybe 25 to 30 minutes versus 45. Again, it just depends on the oven that you have. Growing up, I think my mom's oven was much colder than this one because it would take the full 45, but these are already looking wonderful. So they're getting nice and golden brown already. So I'm just gonna flip all of these over, baste them with a little more marinade, and throw them back in the oven. The wings were just flipped and put in for another 45 minutes. And as you can see, these are a little bit less darkened than these. These were in the top rack. Again, it depends on your oven, depends on the temperature, just keep an eye on them. I'm gonna broil these now. Since these have cooked pretty evenly, I'm gonna broil them only for about like 1 to 2 minutes. These maybe 3 to 4 minutes. We're just gonna toss these in the broiler and then they're done. So the wings are out, they're gonna be cooling for just a couple minutes, and while that's happening, this step is optional, but I think it really elevates the dish and makes it look beautiful. I'm just gonna add some chopped scallions, but I'm gonna show you a little trick to get them looking like that restaurant elegant style. Taking your scallion, what I wanna do is cut off the little roots here first. Set those aside, and then I'm gonna separate it like this here. So you get 2 bits. What I like to do is half this, and then what you're gonna do is you wanna cut it on a sharp angle like this and just slowly slice it. And then we're gonna put it in a bowl of ice water, because what it's gonna do is the ice and the temperature is gonna help the scallions curl up like this, and then it looks really, really beautiful and ribboned on top. Really submerge them all in the water like this, and then let those sit for like 5 minutes. Let's plate the wings. We've got our dipping sauce from earlier, and I'm just gonna add some sesame seeds, and then we're gonna add the scallions when they're ready. Stack these any way you want. It does not matter. Some of these got real crispy. There. Next, I'm just gonna add a couple sesame seeds on top, just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is just take some of the scallions. They're pretty wet. I'm just gonna dry them roughly between a paper towel here. See how they're curling up so nicely too? Look at that. Ooh, that's so fun. Dry that a bit. And just top this on like this. Just adds like such a nice pop of color and adds a little bit of that oniony flavor. This is not a necessary step, but I just think it makes it look so elegant, and it's so easy to do, and this looks like a little restaurant plate, which I love. Okay, the wings are done. I am so glad these came out the way that they did. You never know, it's always, sometimes I feel like I'm just winging it, even though I've made this many times, and I can't wait to try these. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that you try these too, because maybe you can create that same nostalgic memory with your friends, with yourself, with whoever, but it's really good. You can find the full recipe on food52.com. Thanks for watching.